Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am your happy healer, Keith Landi. Welcome to the program. It is 2:53 p.m., September 9th, 2019. I am your happy healer, Keith Landi. I have Al with me, and it's always great to have him around. And today we want to talk about some very special things that are close to my heart indeed. And I want to share with you just how important and imperative this campaign is. Right, Al?
That's right. Today, my brother.
And we got some gifts. You look great, by the way. You look great.
This morning, check the mailbox. Oh, God. I said, what is this here? Our good supporter, Miss Blenda.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Oh, he's excited about this.
Yeah.
This is great. You got some socks there. That's awesome. I love it. Oh, I love that one. That's an awesome shirt there. I love it.
This is very nice. Brenda,
I love it.
I love you.
That was nice.
See, she's a good supporter.
Yes.
Those guys need to help us out also. This way we will look, more professional.
That's right.
We get on the air, not with the same things on.
That's right.
And God bless
he's
her.
helping me. God has sent a good helper.
And he looks good. He looks good. I want to look good.
That's right. That's right.
And also, he sent the nice shirt also too. Wow, this is
that's
beautiful.
A beautiful one. Yeah.
Oh yes, it is.
I love it.
That's what supporters do.
That's right.
That's what they do.
But we're on the same team, Al.
Yeah.
We're all trying to achieve a world that's better.
Right. And this comes from the heart.
Yeah.
Not greed, because greed wouldn't have sent that.
No.
You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah.
So love, always remember love.
Yeah.
Love is the key.
Love is the key.
Love is the key. And this is love.
That's right.
Love. Now, we're going to get to some, news that look like
Oh, no. I'm going to get into that in just a moment.
$2.1 million was stolen somewhere.
No, this was about another story. I'm going to get into that in a moment. But I wanted to just end with you here before I get started on that.
Okay.
And I just want to say, Al, I believe in you.
Thank you, brother.
I do, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's not easy being so close to the work that we're doing is hard and pushing forward. And I've seen Al himself work through so many of his own challenges.
Right.
And I'm proud of him for that.
Life is a challenge.
And we're all working through those challenges, Al. It's not.
And see, greed have a lot of blocks.
It does.
You have to tear them down.
It does.
Tear them down. Tear them down. Tear them down. Tear them down.
I'm glad he gets that.
And then greed is waiting. Okay, they tore them down. I'm gonna build them back up on you. I'm gonna see how far you're gonna go. It's a challenge.
We're talking about that tonight.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, that's a big challenge.
It's a challenge.
Most people fail that challenge. And today in the car, you were talking to me about it, and I'll put it. It's going to be on some of your behind-the-scenes stuff.
But
that
see,
we'll have later.
like when greed does that, put greed out of your mind.
Yeah.
And just love enter.
That's right.
And then therefore you'll be at peace. And
it's the only peaceful way.
Then you know
And you know this when you have to make decisions that are life-inducing. They keep your life going.
Right.
And on the streets, a lot of people have those kinds of predicaments, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Where
all
if
time.
you don't make the right choice, or if you let pride make that choice for you, then you certainly end up somewhere ugly.
Right.
And could even be your undoing altogether, death. I have a neighbor who's was in a coma for a long time, and now he's in a wheelchair, all because he used to not be able to control his anger and drinking. These are impediments. This is where our pride comes in and takes over our actions and makes progressing impossible.
Yes, and that progression that's impossible, if you just do the right thing, you don't have to worry about greed. Greed will back off of you. But
that's right.
Always remember, it's not gone.
That's right.
It's making a way, thinking how to come back.
It's cunning. Yeah. It's a cunning power.
Yeah.
You're so powerful in the truth.
Yes.
It's working for you.
Yes, greed will not let your mind rest.
Yeah.
It's there all the time. And as soon as you open your door, greed is out there. It's just lurking.
That's right.
How can I get to that person?
It's not like how love is. Love is very trusting. Love says, don't worry, I have your back, you have mine, and we're all going to be okay.
Greed wants you to be a force of an evil follower for greed.
That's right.
That's
Yes.
what greed does.
Greed is that scare. It wants you to be scared. Remember that's what you said earlier?
Yeah. Greed always in scare predicaments and everything. But if you got love and God, you don't fear anything.
That's
my
right.
brother. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't worry about
We were
those.
talking about that yesterday on this show a bit, about how God's shield, you put on the shield of God, which is the shield of truth.
Right.
And that power of truth and knowledge.
That's right.
And
that
the
truth,
sword of the Spirit.
That's right, brother. And see, that truth will always set you free.
That's
you don't
right.
have to worry about it. You might get those thoughts about that evilness and stuff like that there, but the God and love will conquer that.
That's
And
right.
you'll get your crown one day.
I love
and
it.
a sword.
Yes.
So, you know.
And we have the crown, we have the sword, we have the breastplate, we have all of it going because we have God's truth, and that armor of truth is strong. Because that power of truth is the only reality we see around us. We're talking about that tonight.
That's right.
It's important. Well, today. I'm usually on at night and day. Well, today, it's just every day we're wanting to move
That's
this
we're a little
message
early.
forward.
We're early today, you know.
We've got a lot to do. That's
Yeah,
why
that's right.
this
You
week
know.
is going to be a busy week.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to get the show going a bit earlier, and also to keep the message going forward, and to have conversations with people that are in the community, but also folks that are in the media and that just want to get involved, that want to help, that this option needs to be there for us, that I can't see myself even an entire election cycle, especially this important, without the option for love. And we're putting love on the ballot. That's so sacred. Like, otherwise, without us, without the effects of our being in this election, love is not on the ballot, nor is unity, nor any of these great changes we all deserve. And that's powerful. And that, for me, is my working action. That's
Greed is on the ballot. Greed is who gets there first to control everything. And then when it comes, it becomes a war. Everybody's fighting for greed. But love, stops that. And it makes for everyone.
That's right. Yes, love is going to provide and put a smile on every face. Greed is always just about the bare bones. Greed is assuming that there's not enough for everyone, and that there's only enough for those who get in there and take it first. And so those people who take it always have the others, that's you and I usually, that are from underneath, and we're saying, hey, you left none for us. We were patient, we waited our turn, and you screwed us again. And so they get these creeplings at their feet. It's that biting, it's that gnawing. So even those at the top of the food chain, they realize it's a human eating, self-eating, cannibalistic food chain that eats itself, because that's how greed does. Love eats itself too, and sacrifice. But greed, there is no sacrifice worthy. It's just straight loss. That's not what God teaches.
You know about that lost thing about greed? When greed get all powerful, all of this, the first thing greed do is run. Oh, let me just write this off.
Right.
So it can disappear. So you just can't mess with me anymore.
That's
But
right.
all
That's
time,
that power of that
where did
almighty
it go?
dollar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greed.
That almighty dollar. So
Greed.
powerful in all of our lives.
Greed's not sharing. Greed writes it off. I don't have it.
It just says it doesn't exist. It never existed. Greed's always been in control of that stuff. It never said, I'm giving it to you. It's never just going to give it to you. The only way we ever get to see a change with a healthy heart that gives and loves and provides for people and affords a smile on every face, one that is without that guilty complex from doing wrong. You know what that is. And that every face is afforded a better life and therefore a smile. That's what we're working for. Greed takes that away. Love is what provides
Love
that.
always says.
And love has that.
Love says, I have it. Come on, my brothers. Come on, my sisters. Come get it.
Yes.
It's yours.
Yes.
You are blessed. I am blessed.
Greed is just so convinced that if it's for the rest of us, and that everybody has a healthy chance, and in this case, It's easy. We should all be able to exercise our ability to be alive in America. That is to have a roof over our head, to have food in our mouths, and time to pursue our spiritual well-being, our human well-being, to be a human being, our humanity, our American spirit, our salvation.
Yes, of the
We
Lord.
have to atone. We have not had a chance to realize our progress, not even in the last 20 years or 40 years. We have gone from working one parent, one job for a family, to two parents and two jobs. People should have more time with the advent of all of this technology, and yet there has not been. So there's a blowback. This is not free.
No, I know, because see, greed wants,
are pissed.
greed, like you said, one parent, two parents, it takes two, sometimes it takes three and the children to survive.
Yes.
You know, with love, one person can do it for all. So come
That's
on,
right.
children, I have you.
Well, with love, it's not about showing up and accounting. The accountability is totally different with love. Love is about what's right. Love is about doing things because you matter, you have purpose and value. And greed would say you need, for example, there's so many people wasting so much gas driving back and forth to jobs where they largely produce nothing. It's justification of a paycheck, as I call it, and many people know it's true. And that they have to do it because that's their livelihoods.
Right.
And that their bosses are going to enforce that, or they don't get a check. So that they're on these roads. They could be home working. In fact, they'd get more done from home. But that's not what greed wants. Greed wants that person there.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's an accountability that greed has to it, and says, no, if you want, you got to show up. You got to be my slave. Even though it's not required, nor is it needed. Therefore, it's in vain. And I say a lot of the work that we're doing in factories, that's in vain too. Because so long as we can get a robot that's doing it, why are we having human beings doing it?
Because the more you work, the less you get.
It's very true.
That's how I agreed to.
Well, here's,
with
in
money-wise.
some cases, that's the way it works. It's actually insanity. And this is why they will pay employers to hire employees. They will pay them. They will give them tax breaks and give them money from almost thin air. It's the taxpayers in the first place where the money came from. And they will pay the employers to then employ the employees. And think about the insanity of that it's the employees then who then go spend that money. They are the taxpayers who are paying themselves oftentimes. This is the insanity of our current system, and you see that kind of insanity over and over, and that's because they're trying to justify things rather than just doing what's needed. They're not doing what's needed. Instead, in their effort to account for everything, they provide nothing.
Right. So it's like this here. If the employer gets employed, why don't they sign, employees sign up? Why don't you give me a little bonus? You're giving him to hire me.
It's like this.
You're not sharing. It's greed.
Greed exists on all levels, and it exists from the person who expects and does not want to give,
Right.
who's not prepared to say, I'll give all, because guess what? I came as a whole being, and I will give my all to the task of our human endeavor, okay?
Okay.
And then the person that gives their all, they all be fed and provided for within the human spirit.
Right.
That's the way we look at it.
Right.
And so when we fail to do that, all we leave left then is for that person to fend on their own. Often, if they are lovers like me, and they put their creativity towards the empowerment of the human being, that pays very little to nothing.
Right.
And in the meantime, what pays so much is greed. That is what we need to change.
That greed, when they leave them nothing, that creates a war. Always.
That's right. Greed always
remember that.
wants war.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that tonight. In fact, I'm going to get into that right now. I'm going to change my shirt because I'm not dressed for the speech yet, but we're going to end this now. I just wanted to come out and with Al and just say hi. He was so excited about the package. Yes.
Keep on doing what you're doing.
Yep, that's everybody.
You are very good supporter.
Everybody's great supporters, and we appreciate you in the campaign. We're out to grow this thing, so me and Al, we're going to be going out to a couple of places later on and seeing what kinds of friends we can make and how we can push this message even further and grow it. And I've got a lot of great ideas. On Wednesday, we're going to be going to the City Hall, and we'll see how that goes. Just to share love and about our community is in the housing situation, which I think is critical for Americans in general. It's very hard for many people to find a place to live, to call home. And in fact, I know that firsthand. I have Al here. That's how it all started with me and Al, right, Al?
That's right. I've always been here, but I've been gone, but I'm always here,
Yeah, you're family friend.
Now.
He's here more now, for sure. And so this is what we do in our lives. We practice what we preach, and we have a compassionate heart. We are leaders in our own worlds, letting love guide us, and that love works. That love protects us, and that it always does. It never lets you down. And that greed is always one of those things, just like you say, it always lets you down. And it's just that, for someone like me, I understand it backwards and forwards, how to explain it. And that's the thing, is there's never and seldom a situation that I can't show how greed is destroying the picture, right? Mm-hmm. And yet, love is always the answer. And this man has developed an actual faith in how true that is, because we start off knowing it. First off, we start off knowing it in our deep gut of truth, that honest broker of truth. And then from there, we can put it in explanation. That's huge for people, to be able to define what we should do in order to do better in ways, in order to be better. And so that's all we're trying to do, because making the switch from being in a life that supports greed and a life that actually is giving us a way out of that, because that's the transition period. It's a critical one, and that's why we need a president in these times that is a happy healer, that can traverse that tricky field. We're not out to destroy. That's what greed does. We don't want people to be hungry and without. We want there to be more sustenance and more creation and more life. So that's what the speech that I'll be coming back on here in a moment and giving is all about.
Okay. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, my brother.
And
you stay
I want you to be
strong.
You look good when you come up on the next episode.
That's right. Stay strong. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll be back in just a bit. This is Tell On from last night's program, and today we have the speech coming up next.